So today's video we're going to learn how to do this very simple parallax effect with JavaScript. It's very easy. Not gonna lie, very simple to do. Okay, see when I scroll down, just watch this header text, right? Watch it. You see how it's moving? See how it's moving downwards to the right, which is very cool. You see these effects often on all these like classy websites and stuff like that. Then we still have, you can see this image is still displaying right here too. All that is going to be in today's tutorial. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so as usual, you have an empty main.js, CSS, which I've already done some default styling. I just removed the padding and margin of the browser, and our JS, our index HTML with our style.css and main.js linked, right? So let me just refresh this page and we'll have a blank area for our work. Okay, so first we want to get the image, so we'll say image source, then we'll get the image. We're going to be using an image called coffee girl. I'm going to be, if you want to use it as that image, I'm going to be dropping the link to the repo of this tutorial so you can get the image, right? Okay, so let's go refresh. We see our image right there. Nice. Okay, now let's style the image first. So come here and say img. Then what we're going to do, give it a weight of 100%, give it the height of 100 vh, we'll give it a position fixed. I'm going to tell you why we're going to do that, why we're doing that right now. No, sorry, we'll give it a top of 0, left of 0. Let's give it an object fit cover, and we'll have our image taking this full width of the area. Now the reason why I gave this position fixed, because when you saw in the beginning of the tutorial, when I was showing you what we're going to be doing, you saw the image bow up. When we scroll down, it was still there. So this is what made it happen. I made the image fixed to the browser, to the viewport, so wherever I scroll to, the image stays. You feel me? So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to give this image a z-index of minus, let's say -2, right? So you still see it's still there. Well, you'll see why I gave it that z-index in a second or a minute right now. So now let's get a header section right now. We're going to give it a h1, say let's call it header or something. Header, and I can come and style the header right now. So target the header, header, give it the height of 100 vh, a width of 100%, a position relative, yes, a position relative. What else again? We'll give a background, a pad background of black. Just gonna get black, and I'm gonna reduce the opacity a little bit. Alright, so we give it a color of white, so we can give that text a color of white. And the font size, I give a font size of like 40 pixels. Right, so let's save this and refresh and see what we have. Okay, we have this with the background opaque. Let's increase the opacity a little bit. No, let's reduce the opacity a little bit. Let's make it around here. You know what, let's change the color to the color I used in the tutorial. Let's make it purplish, some type. Okay, now let's reduce that a little bit. That's too bright. Nice. And yeah, that's okay. So now I want to center this header text right now in the middle. You can just do that with two properties. Very simple. We'll say display grid, and we'll say place items center. That will basically just center this text right in the middle. There we go. Now you can see that our header is displaying over this this image because we gave the image as the index of -2. So this header can be override. So this like is taking the header. So now let's get another section in so we can have something to scroll down to. So we'll say section. Let's give it, let's say h1, or like let's say parallax. Alright. See that text right there. So what I'll just do, I'll just copy and paste this, there's no time. Copy and paste this also by section, Ctrl V. Let's say section. Now I can just change this color to like, let's say black. And you can see that, as you can see as we're scrolling, you see how this image is fixed. You see that the image is still there. So to just show you a demo, let me add another section again. We'll just call this main. Just say h1 of nice. Okay, then basically do the same thing. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, change this to main. Alright, then let's say this black is opaced to a little bit so we can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, now we scroll down and read the main area. You see the image is still there because it's fixed. We set the position of the image to be fixed. Right now we want to make this headers move somewhat when we're scrolling, right? So we can do that very easy with JavaScript, right? Just like 5 lines of code, right? So first of all, let's give that header a h1 a class. Let's say para. Then what we can do is let's get it, let's call it para, and equals to document dot query selector, and we can get it dot para. Right now we want to call the window add event listener scroll event. I'll call the scroll. So we want to run this function every time we scroll down the page. So first we'll store the window y property, the window scroll y property. We can call it anything. What? Let's say val equals to the window dot scroll y. So now we have this stored inside this variable right now. So now we can get that para, the header which we stored as para as a variable. We say para dot style dot let's say left equals to, then we can get that val scroll y times 0.5 plus pixels, my bad, plus px, right? So if you see this, because we've done it but it's not going to work right now, so what we want to do, we want to give this a position of relative so that this property, this left property, can work on it. So we give it a class of para, so we can just target to say para and give it a position relative, and just watch what happens when I start scrolling. You see it's sort of moving left as we're scrolling. You see that it's going from its initial position to the left. To make this very significant, let me increase this to like 1. You can just play with these values, it doesn't really matter. Refresh, see how fast it's moving. You see that? See how fast it's moving. And you see when it's moving, you see the scroll bar is creating because it's moving out of the viewport right now. So to fix that, just come to the header and give it an overflow hidden, so we don't see the horizontal scroll bar when we scroll. There we go, fixed. Very easy. You see that? Very easy, and you can play with these values if you want. So there's it, guys. Simple parallax effect with just how many lines of code? With just 6 lines of code. So referring 5 lines of code, right? Just 5 lines of code, and you've figured out how to do a parallax effect. You can attach this method to anything you want. You can be creative with it. Just experiment all you want. Thank you guys for watching.